Is Chinese a language? No, but it might be soon. What we call Chinese is actually Mandarin, which is one of many languages spoken in China. There's also Wu, with 80 million speakers, Yue, with 70 million speakers, and Min, with 60 million speakers, among many others. These languages make up, along with Mandarin, the Sinitic language family, which is spoken by most of the ethnic majority of Han Chinese. Although these languages are often called dialects of the same language, they are as different from one another as different Romance languages are. Each of these different groups, including Mandarin, also includes several different varieties, which are not always mutually intelligible. There are also other minority languages like Zhuang, Tibetan, and Uyghur. If these languages are all different, why do we call just one variety Chinese? While Mandarin is the biggest language, there are millions of speakers of other languages who might not be so pleased about this. They are, after all, also Chinese. And why are other Sinitic languages typically called dialects rather than languages, if they are indeed as different as Spanish and French? The answer has to do with history and nation building. In the 19th and 20th century, China had been weakened by Western colonialism, the collapse of imperial rule, a prolonged civil war, and Japanese occupation during World War II. It was not until 1949 that stable governments were formed on both the mainland and on Taiwan. And both these governments got to work coercing people to speak Mandarin. In the PRC, they call Mandarin Putonghua, or the common language, and in the ROC they call it Guoyu, or the national language. Although Mandarin had been the language of government since well before 1949, there were still millions of people at that time who did not speak Mandarin in both China and Taiwan, and that had to change in order to create a modern nation. The authenticity and difference of the other languages that people spoke, such as Min in Taiwan and Cantonese in southern China, was challenged by calling them dialects of the national language of Chinese. This way, these people would see themselves as only a variety of Chinese, and not as, for example, Min nationals or Cantonese nationals. Loyalty to a language group such as this could easily mean disloyalty to the nation. This is not to say that China or Taiwan is necessarily bad for trying to create a unified national language. There are obviously benefits to a country speaking one language, and it has been done many times before. Italy, for example, used to be a set of separated city-states, each with their own distinct languages. However, when Italy was unified in the 19th century, Florentine Italian was picked as a prestigious variety to be the Italian language, and was forced upon the rest of the country who spoke other languages. Nowadays, it is mostly only the elderly who still commonly speak Lombard or Napolitano or any of the other languages that Italy once had. So China is just one of many nations who have invented a national language for convenience. They are not necessarily bad for doing so, but speakers of other Chinese languages may slowly lose their distinct language and culture because of it.